First and foremost, I want to say Kol Halalim Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Harakakadash Wabarakadam. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. It's your little brother here, Shema Shawan. Another video. Once again, I was a little bit busy today. Usually, depending, after a holiday, it was Labor Day yesterday. Usually after a holiday, it gets a little bit busy. Teachers feel like they have to make up work and shit. So, I was a little bit busy, and I still gotta go wash some clothes after I'm done with this video. But for this video, I wanted to bring up, a quick little topic talking about, how Esau Edom, with his chemicals, that he puts in the environment and how he fucks up the environment. How those environmental health issues actually can damage the your cells, like damage you on a genetic and cellular level. All right, so this is nature.com. Do genes live in a bubble? No. Environmental mutagens, cell signaling, and DNA repair. We don't have to go into it. Even I didn't read the entire article. A lot of the stuff is, you don't really need to know it. I recognize it myself, but here we keep it scriptural. You get what you can get out the books. But certain things are just, you really don't need to waste your time reading. Your time is spent elsewhere. So under mutagens, a direct route into the nucleus. The nucleus is pretty much like the head part of the cell. You got different kinds of cells in the body. But the nucleus is the head. Let's see here. Although small molecules can lead to phenotypic changes via cell signaling, other environmental agents find more direct routes into a cell's nucleus. A phenotype is pretty much just a physical trait, an observable physical trait within a cell. Whichever it is, like it controls, like how tall you are, whatever the hell, that's all it is. Okay. These agents are known as mutagens. So these are environmental agents known as mutagens, and they act by directly altering a cell's DNA sequence. Okay, DNA, just saying it real quick, deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, and that pretty much is from Crugis within your genes, your fucking, chromosomes and shit, all that shit, it all goes together. You don't really want to have that fucked up, because those DNA, those genes kind of control, how tall you're gonna be, whether you're gonna be able to walk, shit like that. Many mutagens, by virtue of their size or structure, can slip through both cell and nuclear membranes. And membranes are outside of the cell. They protect the cell and keep certain things out. And interact with DNA. So let's read that again. Many mutagens, by virtue of their size or structure, can slip through both cell and nuclear membranes and interact with DNA directly. So they can interact with the nuclear DNA, okay, with the genetic material inside the cell, and fuck it up. Alright, usually resulting in damage. Some examples of these substances include chemical mutagens and radiation, both of which result in DNA damage, albeit for different reasons. Okay, so through Esau's destruction of this earth, whether it be chemicals or the various, this is really mainly talking about chemicals, right? The chemicals that he puts in our, in our food, the chemicals that he puts in various household items that we use. I actually want to go ahead and look that up. It's Esau's attempt to destroy the world. This is what Esau wants to do to keep population low. That's why he's done this. But there's always going to be a limit to what Esau can do. If Esau wants to drastically lower the population, but the Most High just isn't allowing him to. Most chemical mutagens are alkylating agents and azides. Radiation, gamma rays. Okay. I want items. Okay, it's not giving me what I want. Mutagens, chemical mutagens. Fucking Esau. Chemical mutagens in plants. No, I just want examples of chemical mutagens. I read it somewhere else. Please, just give me a second. It's not giving me what I want. Alright, so you got physical mutagenic, you got heat. These are all chemicals. Ethan sulfate, metal ions. Let's see if we can find. I want just like a simple, kind of yeah, so this is an example. Examples of chemical mutagens would be nicotine and other compounds of cigarette smoke that cause mutations involving lung cancer. That's a good example. Organic, cigarette smoke is an example. Some of the pesticides will be considered mutagens, I believe. Let's see if pesticides, mutagens. Yep, I'm exactly right. Certain insecticides have been shown to be mutagens, through Esau's attempted destruction of this world. Okay, through his attempted destruction of this world, he's been giving people cancer. And the Most High, he hasn't forgotten about this. Esau's gonna get what he's gonna deserve. Okay, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldst destroy them which destroy the earth. Alright, we're gonna read that again. And the nations were angry. Alright, the nations are pissed off. Okay, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou should give reward unto thy servants the prophets. Okay, who are the servants the prophets? Aaron Ratazah, I'm of that number. The men and women who well, not the woman, but the men who speak the Slakia there, slip of the tongue, big deal. Okay, the men who are speaking the truth of the scriptures. The men that are going into the histories, telling people the truth, no matter how grim it is. And to the saints, we're the saints. We are the saints. We're the saints, and we are the prophets. And them that fear thy name, small and great. Okay. Yet them that fear thy name, small and great. Some of us are small in terms of small stature, in terms of whether it be monetary. You got certain brothers that are, they may not have, they may live paycheck to paycheck, or they may not have the best looking home, or they may live in the hood. I gotta be honest, man. I live in the hood. I gotta keep it real. Even though I sound, you may say, oh, you sound so prim and proper. It's just the way I am, being polite. That's just the way I am. But I'm not like swimming in fucking money here, man. And small and great, okay? To the saints that fear thy name, small and great. You got certain brothers here that are practicing dentists. You got certain brothers that are, a little bit greater in stature, So it's small and great. And should destroy them which destroy the earth. Who are the people, the main people on this planet that are destroying the earth, okay? Esau, Edom, okay? And this is one of the many ways he attempts to do so, through his mutagens. Okay, he puts these in the chemicals. And you just saw me when I was trying to look it up. They were giving me some problems before. I found a web page before, but, they kind of, they locked me out of it, saying, oh, you need to be a subscriber. You know how these fucking websites are, man. But, Dwight Habashim Yahushai, I pretty much found what I was looking for, I still would like to see some examples, but, this is Esau's dirt. Okay, this is Esau's dirt, and he's not going to make this super available, He's not going to make this super available. All right, let's look up chemical. Let's try this again. Chemical mutagen examples. All right, like I just want a list. I don't want no damn confusing ass name for shit. Let's go to images and see what we can find. Chemical factor. Oh shit, yeah, processed food. There we go. This is the stuff I was looking for. Cigarette smoke. Okay, nitrate preservatives in processed food. Barbecuing. I don't know about barbecuing, but benzoyl peroxide, common ingredients in active products. Now maybe barbecuing actually, yeah, because that lighter fluid that you have to use, we don't really, that could be doing something to your food, man. And once again, there's a certain limit that Esau's going to be able to do, all right? Because Esau thinks that he's, even though he does destroy the earth, the only reason he is able to do what he's doing is because the Most High allows him to. This is the book of 1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 6. The Most High killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. All right, so the Most High allows Esau, Edom, to do these things, to have these, create these chemicals, these, really what they are is chemical weapons that thin out the population. These, mutagens in our food, in our air, various, chemicals in the air, those chemtrails, various things in our food, even in the facial products, the facial care products that I just showed you. All that stuff has those mutagenic chemicals that can get into your the cells of your body and fuck shit up. They can fuck with the way your cells replicate. It could cause cells to delete themselves at a rapid rate. And I believe that's pretty much what causes cancer, when your cells pretty much are like fucked, whether they divide too much, and then you get cancer. Your cells are dying off at a very rapid rate, I believe. That's what causes cancer. I want to get a couple more scriptures here. This is the book of Revelations, chapter 13, and hold on, give me a moment. Yep. Verse 6. Okay. Yeah, we'll start at verse 4. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. The dragon is the Roman Empire, which when it fell, it later returned and came back as the beast. Okay, America, NATO, and the EU. And they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. Okay, people are saying that, well, now that was before. People were wandering after the beast before, but now we're kind of reaching the end point of this country. People are starting to, dig up their dirt, dig up the dirt of this horrid empire, of this beast. People are losing confidence within this government. You see this whole thing with the whole draft situation, looking into how women can be drafted into the war. You had that one thing with the army. I believe it was a joke made by the Russian military, piece of propaganda, making fun of U.S. military commercials. Now they're showing women in the commercials and gay women. You compare it to the Russian commercial, it's all masculine and manly and shit. Russian dude doing pull-ups, kicking ass. In comparison to the American military commercial, shows a little bitch, a woman, fucking being a dumb little slut that she is, Moving on. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. I gotta look into this again. 42 months. If I'm correct, it could be 420 years, but I'm not exactly sure about that. Don't quote me on that. All right, I gotta look back into that. But those blasphemies, okay. Blasphemy pretty much means to speak against the Most High, to stand against the Most High, to be an adversary to the Most High. Okay, how are these Edomites, the beast, been an adversary to the Most High? All right, we know in the book of Genesis you know, that the angels, the Alahayim, you know, the Most High gave them the blueprint, to Yahweh Shai and the Alahayim, to create this world, okay, to create the animals, to create the ecosystem, to create, you know, the plants and animals, food, you know. And these damn devils, they looked into it, right? They looked into the food system, they looked and researched nature heavily, and then they thought to themselves, how can I fuck this shit up? Okay, how can I ruin everything? Okay? Because remember, for these guys to create these chemicals to frustrate the way an ecosystem works, they first have to understand how the ecosystem works, you know, without it being molested. Okay, if I'm making sense, for them to know, okay, what would happen if we screw up, you know, say if we kill off a certain species, or we start hunting a certain species to damn near extinction. Okay, what is going to happen to this population? What's going to happen to the ecosystem? They have to already know how the ecosystem works, you know, if I'm making sense. But, you know, this is just another one of their blasphemies, man. Alright, verse 6, and he opened his mouth and blasphemed against the Most High, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. Okay? Against the Most High, to blaspheme his name. What was the name of the Most High? Yahweh. Okay? They changed the name to Jehovah, you know, which with that name was just a guess. When you look into the history, that name was a guess. I believe was created by the Roman Catholic Church. That name was just a guess. I believe that's where you also get the Tetragrammaton. That whole name was just a guess. That's not even the real name. You know, the fact that they use this corrupted Hebrew, you know, the fact that they know about the dark images, that the saints, you know, that Yahweh Shai was a dark-skinned man, all right, Yahweh Shai, dark-skinned men, and that they hid those images and destroyed them. The fact that they knew that the Moors are Israelites, and at the beginning of Spanish rule that they burnt those maps, the attempt to hide their dirt, to hide the evidence. Okay, just further proof that this damn devil is a blasphemer. The fact that he's created these new religions, you know, and as well as made an environment for these devils to create more religions. You know, you got even, you know, I'm not gonna say even Edomites, but you got Edomites out here that do Buddhism, Edomites out here that do all sorts of kinds of witchcraft, Canaanite religions. Okay, this is the world that Esau, Edom has created. You know, there was a couple more scriptures I want to get. This is the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 16. No, let's see here. Maybe it's. I gotta get my memory up. Nah. This is something that I want. Deceiver. Yeah, it is 12 and 16. I don't know why I didn't show it. Yep. This is the book of Job, chapter 12, verse 16. With him is strength and wisdom. With who? The Most High Yahweh. Okay? It's strength and wisdom. The deceived and the deceiver are his. Okay? So as I said before, the deceiver is Esau, Edom. Okay? And are not just us, but the entire world of the deceived. Okay? Because I believe when you go into... maybe I should go back a little bit. Let's see here. You know, when you go back into Revelation, I'm just going to roughly paraphrase it. And when you go back to Revelation 13, you know, that when the serpent was sealed up, there was a certain time period that the serpent was supposed to, you know, be let loose, you know, to deceive the nations again, you know, to go out and deceive again. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the book of Revelation chapter 20, verse 7. And when 1,000 years expire, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Now this is, you know, something that would be a stumbling block to most people. Okay, this is not talking about spiritual demon Satan. Spiritual demon Satan has no days off. Okay, spiritual demon Satan was around during the time of the Moors, when those Moors were fighting beneath each other, when those Moors were having civil wars, you know, when the Moors were opening themselves up and allowing creating this religious utopia, allowing people of other religions and other faiths to, relatively live within them and dealing with them. Because you had certain Moors that were Christians, you had some Moors that were, quote unquote Jews. You had Moors that were Catholics. You had Moors that were into the Kemetic system. You had Moors that were into into being Islamic, Muslim shit, So you had Moors of many different faiths, and they all work together, This is going completely off, okay? According to scriptures, This is a book of Amos chapter 3 verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? That's one of the reasons, due to their fall. The Moors, they had a lot of civil wars and conflicts. It wasn't all peace all the time. There were certain assassinations, especially with the papacy, trying to consolidate power and all that shit, man. Verse 8, Revelation chapter 20 verse 8. Okay, so remember, when 1,000 years experience, 1,000 years are expired, which goes back to Revelation chapter 13. 1,000 years they were, we had Esau, Edom in chains. The great chain, I believe that's still in the first chapter. The angel having the great chain in his hand, just represents slavery. And we put these Edomites in slavery, okay, for around 1,000 years, going from the time of Constantine, which is around 353 AD, to around, you can argue around 1453 was really when we started getting our ass beat. We lost Constantinople to the Turks, and that was pretty much it for us, Okay, verse 8, and shall go out to see the nations which are in the four corners of the earth, north, west, east, and south, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle. Okay, Gog and Magog is going into Russia. The number of whom is at the sand of the sea. Alright, once again, it's going into Russia. Esau, Edom is currently dealing with that now. They've gone out to deceive the world. Once again, part of the deception is going back to these chemicals, these mutagens, how they've ruined the environment. Esau, Edom, they created these things, these pesticides and these various chemicals, and then they spread them across the world. They showed them and said, yeah, look at how efficient these chemicals are that we have. And then they taught other nations to do the same, and now they're getting cancer, and we're getting cancer. And now cancer is like one of the biggest killers in the U.S., And I bet if you look it up on a world stage, cancer is probably a huge killer, But once again, this whole Russia situation, to gather them to battle, we're dealing with that now, with this whole Afghan thing. They left all those planes and ships, and I was watching a couple of truther videos during this during the Shabbat, during this new moon. I spent most of the day, unfortunately, having to do homework, running around to this class and that class and shit. But I did, do a little bit of reading here and there, looking at various, pages on BitChute. Those weapons and those planes they left, those Afghanistan, those Taliban guys, they're gonna send those things back to Russia and China, who are gonna reverse engineer it. They're gonna see how those American weapons work, and then they're gonna use it against the U.S. All right, and that's just another reason why this country is going to be destroyed. They're not winning this war. Okay, it's over. You can kind of see all the pieces coming together, because remember, the Taliban works with Russia. Works with Russia, and I believe the Taliban also, you got Pakistan as well. Pakistan, I believe, works with the Taliban as well. I'm not exactly sure on that, but Pakistan is tight with Russia and China. So now you can kind of see all those pieces coming together. America gave up that land. They left the military weapons there. They're gonna reverse engineer those weapons and learn how to make their own, and use it against this fucking beast, man. Use it against this damn whore, this whore, okay, and destroy it. All right, and that's all gonna lead to the 10 horns burning the woman, okay, and eating her flesh, which is going into how the NATO and the EU are actually gonna betray America and fire nukes at it also, But yeah, that's pretty much it. I wanted just to create a kind of a, this kind of came up on my mind. I was like, this would be kind of a a good little video to do talking about it. Alright, so I want to say Kol Halagim Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai Bashim Harakakadash Barakatam. That's all I got. Shalom.